When I was about 12, I went on my first backpacking trip. Now I think it was a 14-mile whole trip. We went 6 miles to one campsite, spent the night, 6 miles to the next campsite, spent the night, and then 2 miles back to the car in the morning. I was pumped. Like, if you have ever seen a kid who's pumped about going backpacking, it was me. We all met at the BP gas station, we piled in the car, we got there, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like conquer this hill, kind of like I conquer women's hearts. Ha! I look up at the hill and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be the awesomest trip ever. We even have a positive mental attitude, cause we're gonna have a great time. And about 500 feet up the path, I was like, this is the lamest thing ever. My back hurts. I hate everybody. It was pretty bad. I was like a little hypocrite child. So we finally get up the top of First Hill, and I'm always asking for the break. I'm that one kid. I'm the youngest kid there, and I'm that one kid who's all like, can we stop? I want to stop. I want to break. So then there was 2 paths. There was one going up a mountain that looked like straight up, and then there was another one nice going down. And our scoutmaster's like, let's go up the big tall one. And I'm like, the name of this hill was Yellowbuck. There's like switchbacks every like 2 inches, cause it's so freaking steep. And my scoutmaster's like, oh come on Stuart, it's great, come on, just get up, keep going. And I'm like, ah. So we reached the top of this hill. Oh man, it was pretty crazy. So after going up Yellowbuck, which is awful, you're feeling like, oh I have blisters and blah blah blah. So then we get down, we keep walking down, and we reach a stream. And so we totally catch crayfish, because why don't you catch crayfish when you're by a stream? I don't know, you should. We like lift under rocks and find these tiny little like lobster-ish things, like Hicks call them crawfish. If you call them crawfish, you're a hick. No exceptions. They're just like lobsters, except smaller. You put them in the pot and they turn all red. They die and turn red. It's actually really kind of gross. So some of the crazy people are eating the crayfish they just got and boiled right out of the stream. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I got some Quaker granola bar in my backpack. When we stopped to take a lunch break, I needed to poop. So we're at the path that's on the ridge of the mountain, and then it just goes down on each side. It's pretty dang steep too. So I'm like, okay, I gotta be far away so nobody sees me. So, you know, I walk down, and everyone's like sitting on the rocks at the top, like on the path. And I go down the mountain. Actually, it's more like that. I settle down to do my business, but then, I don't know, my foot or my elbow or something knocked the toilet paper off of where I had set it. And it bounces down the whole mountain. How would you feel if you were just about to do your business in the woods and your toilet paper just rolls down the whole mountain? Okay, thanks. I yelled, I was like, my toilet paper just rolled down the whole mountain! And then I heard the voice from the top, well go get it! So I did. I trudged down the whole mountain. Okay, it was it took me like 10 minutes. It like stopped once like on a tree, and then it like kept rolling and kept going. It was, it's painful to watch. Every bounce it took made me cringe. I was like, oh, no. So I picked it back up. I came back up with my toilet paper, and everybody was laughing at me, and dang it. So we reached the campsite. And there's an awesome stream there with a natural water slide, which is super cool, which I wanted to go on. I was like, yeah, I'm going on that. So I set up our tent. You know, it's about 3 or 4 by the time we get there. It was light and we wanted to go swimming. So I set up my tent, you know, get everything set up. So I take off my clothes. And as I reach down to get my swimsuit, I see a wasp. Actually, it was a yellow jacket. Yellow jacket wasp, same difference. A stinging insect in my tent. And I was like, and as I continue to put on my swimsuit, I see more of them. They're in my tent. I look around and they're outside my tent. I had put my tent right on top of a yellow jacket's nest, and they're finding a way in the tent, and they're crazy mad. So I try to put on my pants back up over my swimsuit, but my swimsuit isn't on all the way, so it's about up to my knees. So I try to put on my pants, so I run out of the tent, and I'm tripping over, and I'm like, ah! And so I'm like tripping, and I fall on the ground, I'm like squirming away, like, and I feel like a total idiot. I'm like running, and my pants are only like halfway pulled up, and I'm on my swimsuit like halfway pulled up, and I'm like running out of the tent, because there's yellow jackets, I do not want to get stung. So with my pants and my swimsuit still on, I shake off my pants as I'm running away. I'm just like, and I toss them onto a rock, and I jump into the stream. So we leap and frolic in the stream, and we slide down the slide and we frolic and leap and frolic. There's a natural water slide, see, so there's this big, like, smooth area of rock, and it has this tiny little stream at the top going down it, and it's probably been going there for how many years, I don't know. So everyone's going down it, woo woo woo, and so I decided to go down it, you know, I go to the top and I go down the water slide. Whoa, that was awesome. And as I start to get back up, I look down at my swimsuit and it ripped right like on the side, and I was like, what the frolic? So I had to stop swimming. So in the morning we woke up, no way. So I'm like, oh great, okay, what do we have for breakfast? So I look inside my backpack and I find some muffin mix, and I'm like, okay. Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking when I packed that. Maybe I was just really hungry and I was like, muffins. You know, that reason applies for a lot of things in life. Muffins. Hey girl, we're breaking up. Why? Muffins. Like a boss. So I mix up the water and the muffin batter, and then I pour it onto my frying pan thing in my little mess kit, and I put it over the fire, and it like starts to rise, and it looks so good. My friend's like, what the heck are you making? I'm like, I'm making a giant muffin, and he's like, what the heck? And so then I like poke it, and my finger goes right through. There was like this nice crust right on the top, but like in the middle it was all raw. Just picked it up and I took off the little like the cooked part and I like ate it. It's like a shell. And then I poured it into my mouth. I just like drank the muffin batter, guys. Isn't that awesome? Don't you wish you could be drinking muffin batter? Dude, I had the best breakfast. Everyone made fun about it and still does, but hey. Muffins. So we continued on our walk. It was like this big gravel road that was meant for cars, but we were walking on it anyway. And things just got slow and sluggish and awful. I remember there's a dead snake in the middle of the road, and we were like messing around with that. And that was really, I don't know why we're messing around with a dead snake. We were like 2-year-olds, come on, what the heck. So then night 2 happened. Oh gosh. So we come down to our second and last campsite. And the whole thing is like shaped like a bowl, like this like valley-ish bowl type thing. So we set up our tents and everything, we have a good time at the fire. It starts raining. Like super crazy raining. My tent was lifted up and started floating away. And the famous line of the day is, it's like a waterbed. That's what my first thought. I was like, this is so cool. My tent is floating away. It's like a waterbed. And so if somebody heard me yell that, and they bug me about that all the time, he's like, yeah, it's like a waterbed, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, just stop. After my tent floated a couple feet, I got out of it and I put on my poncho and I went to the tarp where everyone else was. And it was a really intense flood. Like, long story short, I lost some of my socks and some of my like lights and something because it just was swept away by the stream. In the morning, since I was too lazy to put on my actual hiking boots and socks, and also everything was wet, I'm not gonna wear nasty wet hiking boots. I brought my Crocs because we were gonna be crossing streams. So I put on my Crocs and I walked home 2 miles on like in mountains in my Crocs. It was pretty intense. Then we drove home. It was pretty nasty. Oh, that was the time. So afterwards we like went to get fast food, and I put down my arm to give the lady money, and like this like wave of nasty like dirt and stuff came out of my arm. It was so gross, and the lady was just like, and she like swiped it off the counter, and I was like, this is awful. I mean, I was 12. I didn't have a soul at the time, but you know what I mean. That is my story. So next time you're mad at somebody, you can tell them, I hope your toilet paper rolls down the whole mountain.